Do you ever wonder if there are still pirates today? While the answer to that question is yes, facts and stories about pirates from hundreds and thousands of years ago still get you curious about them, right? So let's go into time travel and discover not-so-famous facts and stories of well-known pirates in history. Welcome to our channel. Today, we'll be starting on a new series about the most notorious pirates in history and their stories, facts, and quests that many are unfamiliar about. Each video will cover one pirate, and for this video, we'll be talking about Charles Vane. Before we get to know him, do you know any famous pirates from many years ago? If so, tell us in the comments section below. Charles Vane gained fame for his remarkable abilities in navigation and combat, setting him apart from other pirates and crewmates. He earned a reputation for fearlessly attacking and capturing any ship that crossed his path. However, alongside his prowess, Vane was infamous for his merciless nature and the turbulent dynamics he had with his crew. His notoriety extended to cruel acts, such as torturing and killing prisoners. But how did Charles Vane exactly start his career in piracy? Before becoming a pirate, Charles Vane's early life remains somewhat obscure. Not much is known about his background or upbringing. It is believed that he was likely born in the early 1680s, but specific details about his birthplace and family are scant. What is known is that he began his career as a sailor in the British Navy. However, his behavior and temperament clashed with the strict discipline of naval life, leading to his eventual dismissal or desertion from the Navy. After leaving the Navy, he turned to piracy, and it was in this life of lawlessness and adventure that he made a name for himself as a fearsome pirate captain. It was in 1716 that Charles Vane took a significant turn in his life by embracing piracy. He joined the crew of the English pirate Henry Jennings, who operated out of Jamaica and New Providence, present-day Nassau, in the Bahamas. Under Jennings' command, Vane learned the ways of piracy and honed his skills as a pirate, eventually gaining notoriety and respect among his fellow buccaneers. One notable aspect of Vane's piracy was his specialty in retrieving silver from sunken Spanish galleons in the Gulf of Florida. This endeavor brought significant riches to him and his crew, but also attracted the ire of the Spanish crown, which had its own salvage crews attempting to recover the valuable treasures. Despite the offer of a royal pardon by King George I to all pirates who surrendered and renounced their piratical ways, Vane and some of his compatriots rejected the offer. Instead, they chose to continue their life of piracy and defiance against the English crown. Vane's daring and audacious actions eventually caught up with him. During May 1718, a crew member from a captured ship managed to escape and later testified against Vane to Governor Bennett of Bermuda. This mariner, Nathaniel Catling, had been aboard the Bermudan sloop Diamond when Vane's pirate crew attacked it in the Bahamas. Catling's testimony revealed that he and his fellow crew members were brutally beaten, the ship looted, and then set ablaze by the pirates. Catling himself endured a harrowing experience, as he was hanged by the pirates and subjected to cutlass attacks, yet miraculously survived the ordeal. This testimony led to Vane's capture by the British authorities, and he was subsequently imprisoned. While in prison, facing the prospect of harsh punishment, Charles Vane decided to accept the king's pardon. This decision secured his freedom, but it did not deter him from returning to piracy. After his release, he resumed his activities as a pirate, and together with other infamous pirates like Edward England and Calico Jack Rackham, Vane continued to harass the English and assert pirate control in the waters around Nassau. Vane had quite a reputation, didn't he? What characteristic of Vane strikes you the most so far? Let us know in the comments below. So together with renowned pirates Calico Jack and Edward England, Vane re-established their fleet and crew, maintaining their infamous cruelty towards their captured targets. During the spring of 1718, they successfully seized numerous ships, including a sizable French vessel armed with 20 cannons. In July of the same year, while docked in Nassau, Vane found himself taken by surprise when a British fleet, led by the celebrated and skilled Captain Woodes Rogers, arrived on the scene. Rogers offered the king's pardon once again to the pirates, as time was running out for them to accept clemency. However, he also aimed to capture any pirates who refused to surrender and reclaim control of Nassau. Rogers strategically blockaded the entrances and exits to the docks, intending to prevent Vane from escaping. Despite the tight situation, Vane proved to be more cunning than anticipated. He devised a clever plan by setting the large French ship on fire and sending it unmanned towards the barricade. The approaching fireball forced Rogers and his men to move their ships aside, giving Vane and his crew an opportunity to board a smaller vessel and slip through the opening in the blockade. As they reached the other side, Vane took a shot at Rogers, not causing any significant damage, but making a bold statement. He would not surrender to any king. Despite Vane's escape, Rogers hatched another plan. Recognizing the need for a pirate to catch another pirate, Rogers, after reclaiming Nassau, enlisted the services of former pirate Captain Benjamin Hornigold to capture Charles Vane, whether dead or alive. However, Vane managed to elude capture and persistently carried out his pirate activities across the Caribbean and the eastern coast of the United States. Despite being pursued by authorities, Vane and his crew proved too swift, outrunning the naval officers' sloops by a considerable margin. By September 1718, another force led by Governor Spotswood of Virginia attempted to capture Vane, but he managed to evade them as well. However, this fleet did assist in the search for another infamous pirate, Stede Bonnet, who was eventually captured and executed. In October 1718, Vane paid a visit to Edward Teach, famously known as Blackbeard, spending time at Blackbeard's pirate base on Ocracoke Island, North Carolina. During this encounter, the two pirate crews indulged in a week-long celebration, marking the largest pirate gathering ever recorded in North American waters. Subsequently, Vane sailed northward, plundering ships along the way, including two near Long Island. However, he eventually turned back to the Caribbean, where he continued to raid ships traversing through the Bahamas. It was during 1716 through 1721 that the notorious pirate Charles Vane gained significant notoriety in the West Indies. He navigated on his ship, Range, relentlessly attacking and capturing any vessels that crossed his path. During one of his exploits near the Carolinas, Vane managed to seize a formidable warship. He then promoted his quartermaster, Yates, to the role of captain, putting him in charge of a second ship. Together, Vane and Yates led a spree of captures, including their most substantial haul, a slave ship from Africa carrying 90 black slaves. As the region became embroiled in chaos due to the pirate activities, the governor of South Carolina employed pirate hunters in an attempt to restore order and capture the marauding pirates. Despite the threat, Vane skillfully evaded capture and continued his piratical activities. However, the turbulent atmosphere aboard Vane's own ship took a toll on his crew. Vane's rude and disrespectful behavior towards his fellow pirates, coupled with his combative personality, became intolerable for his second-in-command, Yates. Fed up with Vane's demeanor, Yates and his followers clandestinely departed one night, taking one of Vane's ships with them. They also absconded with a portion of the amassed treasure and all 90 captured slaves before sailing away, leaving Vane to contend with the aftermath of their departure. The downfall of Charles Vane occurred in the year 1720, while he was still actively raiding and capturing ships in the Windward Passage region between Cuba and Hispaniola. During one of his plundering endeavors, Vane and his crew unknowingly attacked a powerful French warship. Realizing the imminent danger, Vane opted to flee for safety. In this crucial moment, his quartermaster, Calico Jack Rackham, publicly accused him of cowardice in front of the crew. This humiliation led to Rackham taking control of Vane's ship, leaving Vane stranded on a small captured sloop with only a few loyal pirates. Despite this setback, Vane demonstrated his resourcefulness by quickly capturing a couple of small ships, rebuilding his pirate fleet. However, the joy of resurgence was short-lived. A formidable hurricane struck near the Bay of Honduras, utterly destroying Vane's ship and causing the drowning of his entire crew, leaving him with just one other survivor. Vane and the remaining survivor found themselves stranded on a small fisherman's island until their rescue by Captain Holford, a former buccaneer who knew of Vane's notorious reputation and ruthless behavior as a pirate. Recognizing the threat Vane posed, Captain Holford wasted no time. He apprehended Vane and handed him over to the authorities in Port Royal. Subsequently, Vane faced a trial in court where he was found guilty of piracy. His ruthless deeds and violent history were considered, and he was sentenced to hang. In November of 1720, Charles Vane met his end at the gallows. His demise marked the conclusion of a tumultuous and infamous career as one of the most feared pirates in the West Indies during the Golden Age of Piracy. Throughout his career as a pirate, Charles Vane became known for his fierce and fearless nature, earning both admiration and fear from his crew and enemies alike. His story is a fascinating and complex one, reflecting the intense and lawless era of the Golden Age of Piracy. Learning about a pirate's life will always feel like an adventure, and we're excited to see you on our next videos. If you liked this video, don't forget to click the thumbs up button, hit subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Thanks for watching.